You've seen the reels, the sound, the speed, the style. Superbikes are every rider's dream. But the real question is, can you afford it? In the last 5 years, I've bought two Kawasaki bikes. In this video, we are going to discuss how. It's just not about the price tag, it's about what comes after: the fuel, the maintenance, the gear, the unexpected cost. It all adds up. Let's break it all down. And if you're looking to buy a superbike, this video might just shock you or put you one step closer to your dream. So let's begin.
Let's start with the most obvious one, the price of the bike. Now, depending on the model or the bike that you're choosing, the brand that you're choosing, the price of the bike can vary anywhere between 12 lakhs to around 30 lakhs. We have multiple examples like the Kawasaki ZX-10R, which is for around 18 lakhs. The Ducati V4, which is 28 lakh plus. We have the S1000RR, which is again somewhere around 25 lakh plus. And then we have the most insane one, in my opinion at least, the Z900, which is a pretty new model that has been launched, by the way, and that is for around 14 lakhs on road. So you can save a lot of money by buying a second hand bike. And the best advice that I can give you in this is that whatever budget that you have, don't spend it all on the bike because you will need it for what's coming next. Now, talking about the registration and insurance. Registration is what shocks the first time superbikers the most because it can range anywhere between 1.5 to 2 lakhs depending on your state, and insurance can cost additional 30 to 60,000 depending on what all things that are being added in the insurance by the company. And on top of that, if you go in for any additional add-ons, that will be extra and might exceed the 60K mark that I'm talking about. So be very mindful of the insurance and the add-ons that you're getting. And also, another tip in this is that you can go ahead and use a insurance comparison tool, because that is really going to help you in terms of understanding the variation of price that exists for the same insurer and the policy. And on top of that, you should also check with your dealership as to what are the insurers that they work with closely, because tomorrow if you go with a third party insurer that your company is not giving you, there might be a chance that there might be issues with your cashless policy. So again, that's something you should keep in mind. Here's where reality hits really hard. Superbikes aren't easy to maintain. You have your annual services, which can cost you anywhere around 10,000. You have your oil changes, brake pad changes, chain sprockets, which need to be replaced, the tires. All of these costs add up. Your chain sprocket cost can be anywhere between 10 to 20,000. Your brake pads cost another 25, 30,000. And there might be cheaper options available which cost you around 10,000 or 15,000. But then that is something that I would not do with my brakes because that is something I really depend on. On top of that, a good pair of tires is going to cost you anywhere between 40 to 80,000. Again, depending on the size, the brand, the kind of compounds that are being used. And the worst part is that in case you drop your bike and it is a faired bike, then you are going to be spending anywhere to the tune of a lakh plus to get your fairing replaced. If you're spending 10 lakh plus on a motorcycle and not investing in good riding gears, that is something where you're doing this wrong. So let's talk about the riding gear. The riding gear that you would need is, as a bare minimum, I've spoken about this before. I would link one of those videos somewhere on the screen. But in terms of riding gear, the bare minimum that you need is a good helmet that would cost you anywhere between 10 to 40,000 and upwards depending on your budget. Then you would need the riding gloves, which would again be to the tune of 10 to 20,000 depending on the brand and budget that you're going for. Next is your riding boots, which would be around anywhere between 15 to 50,000. Um, then comes your riding jackets and your riding pants. That would be around 20,000 on an average each. So that is something you need to be prepared for. Total gear cost anywhere between 40,000 to a lakh, depending on how seriously you're thinking about this. But you really can't put a price on safety, and skin grafts are much, much more expensive. Superbikes are performance machines and they drink fuel like one, two. The average of any superbike would be around 10 to 16 kilometer per liter. On top of that, there would be a tank of around 10 to 15 liters. And if you ride often, your fuel cost itself could be anywhere between 4 to 10,000 a month. On top of that, you would be going in for the safety of your bike. The safety of your bike would be the frame sliders, the engine protector, the list goes on. Talking about mods, there would be multiple mods that you would want to get done to your bike, maybe for its safety or for performance or for the looks. You can go in for a tail tidy, you can go in for a frame slider, you can go in for a aftermarket exhaust. The exhaust would be anywhere between 50,000 to 2 lakhs. The tail tidy would be anywhere to the tune of 5 to 10,000. The frame sliders again 5 to 15,000. The windscreen upgrades, and then on top of that there are smaller costs like your helmet care kits, chain lube and paddock stands and chain cleaner. These small costs keep on getting built up together and snowballing. Along with all of this, there comes the emotional cost. You're riding a very powerful machine, you're riding a very expensive machine, and you're scared that there would be theft, there would be damage to your bike, there would be road rage incidents. The list goes on. So, that is one another thing that you carry with you every time that you think of buying a motorcycle. My suggestion to you, any bike would take at least 10% of the down payment for you to purchase it, and the rest on loan. The loan interest can depend anywhere between 8 to 12%. And in case you're going in for a bike like the Kawasaki ZX4R or the Z900, which are the initial few inline four machines, they would cost you anywhere between 12 to 14 lakhs, which means that you need to have a down payment of at least 1.4 lakhs. On top of that, some reserve for all the things that you are going to need right after the purchase of the bike, which I would take an estimate of around 2.5 lakhs. Then comes your EMIs. If there is a loan of somewhere around 12 lakhs, your EMI would be something around 18,000, if I'm not wrong. You can go into a EMI calculator and calculate that, but this is my rough estimate. So yeah, if you have an initial payment of somewhere around 3 lakhs ready with you, you can get into an inline four bike or a super bike. On top of that, if you are earning a bare minimum of 70 to 80,000, that is when I would suggest you to get a machine like this. Otherwise, wait it out, save your money, and only purchase these kind of things when you're ready. So, can you really afford a super bike? Maybe yes, maybe not yet. But at least we know the real figures that come with a super bike. If you have a bike in your mind that you're ready for after all of these things, drop in the comments what is it that you're looking for, or even the fact wherein you're not ready yet but you're saving up for it. Drop a like, subscribe. See you guys in the next one.